Hi, this is Jason Newkirk coming from the Orlando Theater Network. Hello, Orlando Theater Network, and welcome to another episode of Orlando Theater Network Talks. Today, guess what? Guess who I have with us today? The fabulous Terry G. Hello, Terry. How are ya?
I'm back.
I feel like we just spoke to each other.
Minutes ago.
Just minutes ago about stuff. Today we're actually going to talk to Terry about, she's doing some different Fringe shows. She is actually doing for Fort Lauderdale Fringe that's coming up. When is Fort Lauderdale Fringe?
Fort Lauderdale Fringe is a short one. It's May 5th through the 7th at the Fort Lauderdale College down south.
Wow, they only do one weekend.
Yeah, they do. They do.
How new is that Fringe?
This is year number 2.
Oh, so they're babies.
They're
just,
babies.
They're just starting out. So you're doing 2 shows. The shows are She Touched My Lemon.
She did.
And and also Tales from the Forest.
Yes.
So first off, let's talk about what sounds like a very naughty, fun little romp, which is She Touched My Lemon. What is She Touched My Lemon about?
Okay, first of all, She Touched My Lemons is as dirty as it sounds. Either way you want to go
I like to
with that.
touch bananas myself.
Well, yeah. Well,
You
some
know-
girls like to touch lemons. Some girls like to touch bananas.
Okay.
But in this story, she's going to touch some lemons. The story of She Touched My Lemons is basically about this girl, a lesbian. I don't know who you're talking about. Who is striking out in the gay world and decides to go straight. So she gets onto a straight dating app, and she finds this guy who has a fruit fetish. And by fruit, I mean lemons. So literally, She Touched My Lemons is actually the story of a straight couple. Or someone acting straight, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it's a dirty little tale about a girl who's trying to figure herself out and goes and finds a guy with a weird kink.
Terry. Terry, my love. How in the world did you come up with this kind of... First off, let's talk about, like, I know there's a lot of fetishes out there. Is fruit fetish like
It is a real
big
fetish.
thing?
If having a fruit fetish is a real fetish. No, I don't know anything about it. I did a little bit of research on it when I decided to do this show. Last year, when I did the very first Fort Lauderdale Fringe, one of the art directors who was also involved with the Fringe, her name is Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa. She had a satchel very similar to mine. She was doing my tech in my room. I put my bag not too far from hers, and I went to reach into a bag, and I grabbed a lemon. I'm like, this isn't my bag. And I put it back down, and Vanessa turns around, and she's like, oh, I'm going to tell your girlfriend that you touched my lemon. So the joke turned into She Touched My Lemon. So my dirty little mind wrote the show, She Touched My Lemons.
And a fruit fetish.
Yes, a fruit fetish was born.
And a fruit fetish was born. Wow. So, it's about a lesbian.
Yep.
And so is this, this is not an autobio tale
No.
of you, just to get things straight.
No, Terry will never be straight. I'm a very happy lesbian. It was just a fun, funky way to tell a story, to get as goofy as possible,
Awesome.
as dirty as possible, and have a good time with it.
So, did you go to the French? You went to French Festival. You said at Fort Lauderdale last year, right?
Yes.
So
I
how
performed.
is it different than ours? Besides just that weekend,
Last
are
year,
there a lot of differences?
Yeah, it was only one day last year.
Whoa,
they're
okay.
growing. Last year it was set in a college, so it's kind of different in that way. The setting, it's kind of in classrooms and auditoriums down there. The way that the outside is set up is different. The way you come and get your artist passes and get your stuff and all that stuff is different. Buy your tickets, it's all different.
Very nice. So now let's move on to the next show. Even though I could sit and talk about this fetish for a while, but I think we'll have to have you on for a different show.
Uh-oh.
Maybe in a couple of minutes, you never know.
It's getting ridiculous.
Let's talk about Tales from the Forest. Now, Tales from the Forest is about your time working a haunt, right?
Yes.
And it's about your time working a very popular haunt that's
Yes.
here in town, which is a petrified forest, right?
In Altamont Springs every year.
All right, so tell us a little bit about this, because I'm fascinated. I love haunt. I love Halloween.
Well, I will say this. When I moved up here to Orlando in the late 90s, early 2000s, I actually started working haunts in the late 90s. And what this story is about is the different aspects of scaring people, and it leads up to working in a petrified forest and working in the forest. And basically, the art of the scare is, how a scare happens, the approach, what you do, the noise, your body language, to how you even leave. And then from there, I tell the stories, everything from people who have peed in their pants, pooped in their pants, puked, fainted, said, "Don't scare me, I have diarrhea." The spontaneous hugger, as she came to me and started hugging me, going, "I know you have to scare me, but don't scare me." And she's hugging me, and I'm going, "I don't know what to do, get her off of me." To the guy who crapped his pants going down the stairs in the old haunt that I worked at because he had so scared of me that he had crapped himself. So I tell all of these stories and the different things that have happened, even from this one man, I had a stick in my hand, approaching me and wanting to fight me because he had a flashlight in my face. And of course my heart is doing this because I thought I was going to die, and I have a stick in my hand going, "Dude, just put the flashlight down." And I had to basically puff up and get mean to tell him to stop. How people react, basically.
Wow. So, can you maybe tell us a little bit of the story?
Well, let's see. Back in the day, I worked for a little haunted house in Old Town. Not Legends, but the Haunted Grim House. It no longer exists. It was our job to scare people in the street, kind of a little bit, and to get them to come into the house. Well, what we did was we were scaring people. I would look straight into someone's eyes, stand still, and wait for them to walk up next to me. And as they would walk up to about here, I would go and scare them very quickly. And I would have more than one...
Sorry, you almost gave me diarrhea.
It's okay.
Thank you.
I would have one person go, "I was staring right at you. How did you do that?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just that good, apparently. I don't know." But as I was doing that one day, trying to get people to come in, this huge woman comes out and goes, "Don't scare me. I got diarrhea." I couldn't handle myself. I started turning purple. I was giggling so hard. I had to retreat into our break room because I just could not handle myself.
So what's it like working a haunt?
It's
that has to be very tiring. So give me a day of going through. Give me a day if you were going to Petrified Forest. If you were working Petrified Forest, what is your day like?
My day for a Petrified Forest or any haunt, basically I would start with makeup. And I do my own makeup. I'm a control freak that way. I'm a professional makeup artist, so I would create whatever face depending on the character I was doing. Let's say, for instance, last year I was a clown. So I decided I was going to have giant safety pins through my face. So I did my face in this 3D crazy looking clown thing, and I put safety pins this big through either cheek. And then I would come to the forest, put all my costume on. We would do our meeting and then go to our set. Our set was about 3 to 4 hours long. I would scare the bejesus out of people and then go home.
Wow. So this is something that I've always kind of wondered with the haunts. Now, if there's a time and it ends at 11 o'clock, okay, your end time's at 11. What time are you guys on a busy night around Halloween? What time are you guys actually done? Because that's the time that the tickets actually stop selling, would be 11, right?
Yep.
But that means you guys are still there until that last person comes to the door.
We are there until the very last person comes.
So what's the latest you've ever been?
The latest I think we've ever gone has been 12:30, hour and a half.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a conga line like one after another. It's like a pulsed amount of people, but they go pretty quick. And we go pretty quick.
So what's your favorite when it comes to haunts? We have like the Halloween Horror Night type of haunt, which is that kind of mega $1 million haunt, if you will, thousands of dollars.
Which I know well.
Yes. Or then we also have the mom and pop scare. Which do you prefer acting in?
I've got to say I prefer the mom and pop scare.
Do you? A lot of people actually do usually say that they like that mom and pop scare because it's more of an intimate scare. It's not a conga line type of scare. And
exactly.
It's that. Well, very good. All right, so 2 shows coming up. She Touched My Lemons and Tales from the Forest. And I'm sure that you can go down. I'm sure you don't know specific times or dates or anything for this.
They're May 6th and 7th. The preview's on the 5th. But the actual shows are May 6th and 7th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. If you go on Facebook and look up Fort Lauderdale Fringe, you'll be able to find all the information there.
Awesome. And once again, that is Fort Lauderdale Fringe.
Yes.
This is not Orlando Fringe. This
Nope.
is Fort Lauderdale, our neighbors down south. Fort Lauderdale, next to Miami, next to South Beach,
Yep.
next to all those fun other places we won't mention that I'm thinking in my head in Fort Lauderdale. Okay, so that's really it. Terry, we wish you most the greatest luck and success with your Fringe show. Any chance that maybe next year you might bring those shows up here to Orlando Fringe? Maybe if...
Well, last year I did Confessions of a Theme Park Worker,
Yes.
which was here years ago, which I did here years ago. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how these go. I did Confessions down in Fort Lauderdale last year, and then I did it again in Baltimore this past year in November as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens between the three shows.
Any chance of bringing Confessions back?
We'll see.
Oh, and that's all you're going to get today?
That's it.
All right, again, Terry, we love you. Thank you so much for dropping in. Much success with Fringe, with all the Fringe that you're doing here
There's
in
lots
Orlando.
of it.
There's lots of Fringe that's coming up, and lots of success to you. And we love you, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye, everybody. See ya.
Whatever happened to Saturday night? You dressed up sharp and you felt alright. It don't seem the same since cosmic light came into my life, and I thought I was divine. You're a ride with a chick could go and listen to the music on the radio. A saxophone blowing on a rock and roll show. You climbed in the back and you really had a good time.